What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Beyond the Bench podcast. I guess it's just me. I thought Nick was supposed to be here today. There he is.
Down with the Patriots. What did we say? Down with the Patriots.
Down with the Patriots.
All glory to the Seahawks.
Yeah, that was a not very fun game to watch. If we're being completely honest,
that was actually a horrible game. How's everybody doing? Good to be back.
It's great to be back. Well, a little sad. Football's over.
Yeah, I know.
But we still got football to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So, this game was not really what anybody expected, other than the fact that, like, I thought, what was the final score? I don't even remember. It was 29-13?
29 to something?
I don't even remember. I think it was 13. Could have been.
I think it was 13 because they got 29 to 13. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's how boring the game was. We don't even know the final score.
I think I said it was going to be 35-21.
Yeah.
I was a touchdown off for both, but I think that kind of just goes to say, like, I didn't think the Patriots were going to win. Nick didn't. A lot of people did not have the Patriots winning, other than Patriots fans.
Which can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about the Patriots all season, and listen, I just did that gag, whatever. What they did to get to the Super Bowl is nothing short of phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But when you play subpar teams and you get helped along the way, you have Bo Nix breaking his ankle, the Chargers O-line just decided to become non-existent in that game.
Yeah.
You got helped out with the Bills because they got eliminated. And then with the regular season, they had the easiest schedule among the NFL. Of course, they were going to make the playoffs. Like I said, to get to the Super Bowl in itself is hard. But
their schedule was just unbelievably easy.
Their offense was playing subpar defenses basically the entire year, aside from 3 or 4 games. And then in the Super Bowl, in your last game of the season, and the most important game of these guys' careers, you play the toughest defense in the entire NFL. How do you think that's going to go? Not well.
Yeah.
And I mean, the defense showed it.
Drake May played well in the fourth quarter, much to my dismay. No pun intended. He set the record for most passing yards in the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl.
Until I read this.
235.
Yeah.
I had a bet where I needed him to get less than 221. I was looking great going into that fourth quarter. But only a miracle will stop me from winning this bet, and a miracle is what happened. So
I had 11 bets, not one of them hit.
I think I had like 5 or something like that.
It's all Fliff Gash, so it's free. Fake money.
Mine wasn't. What do you think the Patriots did right in the Super Bowl? Because there wasn't a lot that they did right.
So I will say the defense kept them in the game for a lot of the
Absolutely.
For a lot of the time. I want to applaud Christian Gonzalez. If Christian Gonzalez was not on that field, I genuinely think the game could have been like 50-0. Yes, good. He played outstanding. He denied JSN of that one long
JSN,
run.
I think, had 4 catches for 27 yards or something like that.
He was injured most of the game. I'll put
That's
that
fair.
out. He was injured most of the game. He only came back late in the fourth quarter. But that Pats defense really did keep them in the game, and they showed to the world that was kind of the main driving factor of this team this entire year.
Yeah. Just that whole fourth quarter was good for the Patriots to the point where they had a little hope, but by the time they hit the 5-minute mark, it was pretty much
over,
set in stone that the Seahawks were going to win the Super Bowl. I also want to applaud Mac Hollins, who, I mean, he showed up in the fourth quarter. Mac Hollins has been a deep threat all year for the Patriots, and 4 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown. You really couldn't ask for more from him. I'll say the same for Ramondre. Ramondre's catching the ball. Yeah, the touchdown. He's 63 yards. Everyone else was not really
Very good.
successful in anything. They had I think one sack, no turnovers on defense.
Drake May genuinely looked like he was seeing ghosts. It
Yeah,
came full circle.
yeah.
Drake May
Until the
found
fourth quarter.
until
I
the
will give
fourth quarter.
the fourth quarter he played incredibly well.
Yeah.
A lot of checkdowns, I will say. But
And the other thing is that Will Campbell had 14 pressures, the most by any tackle or guard
Will Campbell looked awful.
Awful. And me and my friend were actually talking about this at our Super Bowl party. A lot of people said that Will Campbell will be a bust because of his arm length. In perspective to the rest of his body, he got like T-Rex arms. Like,
And you could see it.
you could
the Super
see
Bowl.
the difference, and that got exploited in the Super Bowl. And you have a guy, like, he can't do anything about his arm length. I'm not criticizing that, but he needs to find a way to compensate for that. There's guys in the NFL that have physical disadvantages, but they overcome that.
You got to find a way to work
something-
around it. Exactly.
He's also a rookie. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
This is, he's gonna get
But
much better. And he's gonna learn.
He did not look good.
He did
I will
not
say
look good.
that. Speaking
What
of
about
someone
the Seahawks?
I was gonna say, well, speaking of someone that didn't look that good, Sam Darnold. Really, I mean, like we said, Christian Gonzalez was being a lockdown the whole game. The whole defense was. He couldn't really get a lot of throws off. Cooper Kupp got most of them. He had 6 catches for 61 yards. Love to see that. AJ Barner had a game. But Kenneth Walker, man. 161 total yards, 135 rushing. I said last week on the podcast that for the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl, it would be the Kenneth Walker game. And that, I think, is exactly what we got.
Yeah. They just ran the ball down their throat, and the Patriots couldn't really do anything. I will say, though, I was disappointed that Jason Myers didn't win NFL, the Super Bowl MVP. I will say
we were talking about that.
I will say
that. My dad was texting me. He's like, "That's all we want." Like that's what we keep talking about.
Because the thing is, he set the record for most field goals in a Super Bowl. He also set the record for most points scored in a season.
205, I believe.
205. I think LaDainian Tomlinson had 200.
He had 198. Yep.
Yeah. I think that was what the number was.
Yeah. I think he broke the record. It said he had 202. Myers, and I think he at least kicked one more extra point after that.
Yeah.
But I will say, his longest field goal was 41 yards.
Right.
But
so and that's the thing. The Seahawks kept getting down the field; they just couldn't produce. Which I think was honestly the problem. I genuinely think if both teams replayed that game today, knowing what happened, I want to still think the Seahawks would win, but I think the Seahawks would win by a lot more.
Yeah.
Just because it didn't look like either of the teams were really clicking.
Yeah, I agree.
There wasn't really a lot of, flow in both of the offenses. Now, moving on, speaking of Kenneth Walker, what do you think's gonna happen to him postseason?
Personally, because of the Zach Charbonnet injury, I think he's going to go back to the Seahawks, which I don't think is a good idea for him in terms of his career, because we've seen how they use him with Charbonnet, and we've seen that without Charbonnet. Like we've said in every single podcast, he's a top 10 running back in the league without Charbonnet.
And he proved that all offseason, or postseason. He was freaking electric. He had, he had 135 yards in one game, the biggest game of his career. And I will point out, the Seahawks won the Super Bowl and just walked out like they just won a regular season game. Like, that was like the most calm, most gentle Super Bowl celebration I've ever seen. Yeah. And to applaud them, I mean, Kenneth Walker, he said, did you see him and Sam Darnold at Disney right now?
Are they really?
Yeah, they are. They were talking in like the teacups. But Kenneth Walker said after the game, he just went back and chilled with his family.
Yeah.
And that's the type of guy that he is. He's a down to earth guy. Personally, I think that Kenneth Walker will switch teams. I think that he's not going to want to go back with the Seahawks just because of the way that he was used and how they treated him this year. There's a lot of media on the way that he was used this year, and it would be kind of dumb to think that none of that got back to him and he didn't kind of say to himself, what's really happening? How could I improve my situation?
Yeah. But you also have to remember they just won the Super Bowl, so that also could influence his decision.
Right. And you see a lot of times team players after they win the Super Bowl, they move to a different team because they want to either chase that with a different team or their stock is at an all-time high and then the teams will pay them more, which I think that's what will happen with K9. I think he's going to go to a team that is in need of a de facto running back, like the Steelers or I don't know, help me out here. Steelers are a good pick.
The Steelers are, yeah.
Jalen Warren has looked okay. Texans, yep. Like these teams that don't really have consistent running back play, I think will be the teams that he's going to want to go to the most.
You also have to remember, though, this is like the first season in his career where he didn't get injured.
Yeah.
That's a huge factor that will also play into this. What do you think the contract's going to look like wherever he signs?
So I think the running back market is growing. We saw that with James Cook's contract.
Yeah.
And I think that the rarity of good running backs in the NFL is increasingly more rare. I think the difference between the top running back in the league to like the 10th running back in the league is a much, 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 much bigger difference than the first wide receiver to the 10th wide receiver or the first quarterback to the 10th quarterback.
I totally agree.
So I think that is going to result in a much bigger running back market. So what was James Cook's contract? It was 4 years for
a lot of money.
For 20?
Let's see.
Or no, it was more than that. I think it was 10 a year maybe, or 8 a year.
4 years, 48, I believe.
Yeah, so
yeah. So it's about 11 to 12 average annual value.
$1 million a year. So I think that a team would honestly be willing to give him around that money. I think a reasonable contract for him could be 3 years. I'd say around 3 years for 36, maybe 35.
Yeah. I was just say I could see anywhere between 9 and 12 per year.
Yeah.
So giving him 3 years, 27, 3 years, 30, anything like that, I think he might get around that.
Is reasonable. And that's good because he deserves it. The thing that
absolutely.
will alter the contract is his injury history.
Yeah.
I think teams will go into that negotiation putting fine print in case he gets injured into that contract. Like you may only get this guaranteed money if you stay healthy.
If you play a certain amount of games, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
I'm excited to see where he goes. He's still very young. I think he's 25, 26 maybe.
I think he's 25.
Something around there. But regardless, he's very young. He still has 4 or 5 years left in his prime.
Yeah, he'll be he's 25. He just turned 25 in October. So he's still got a lot of time.
Yeah. Which is good. What do we think about Sam Darnold? I think that is the story of the week, honestly.
This just kind of goes to show that coaching is important. He had a good coach in San Francisco, and he was behind a good quarterback. He had a good coach in Minnesota, and now he's a good coach in Seattle. When he was with the Jets, he did not have a good coach. Even when he was with the Panthers, he didn't have a good coach. So it just goes to show that the right coaching is so important when you have a quarterback, especially one that's so highly touted, you need to go to the right team.
Mhm. My
Yeah.
my opinion is that regardless of what team he was on, you had players come up to him, to the media, and say, this guy works harder and cares more about the team than anyone I have ever been around with. That is not said about a lot of quarterbacks or people in general in the league.
Right.
Everybody who has been his teammate has held such high regard for him as a person and as a teammate. And the fact of the matter is that he had nobody who believed in him.
Yeah.
The Vikings took a chance on him and then got rid of him after one season after getting 14 wins. And now I hope that everybody in that Vikings front office is sweating. Because
I
how do
mean,
you go?
they did have JJ McCarthy, who, hear
I
me out. They had JJ McCarthy who hadn't played an NFL snap yet. He's supposed to be their guy. You can't go out and sign someone like Sam Darnold to a 3-year deal when you think you have your guy. Because we saw the Falcons do this with Kirk Cousins, and now they're going to cut him.
That was that. Yeah. Well, but the fact of the matter is that, in my opinion, I don't think JJ McCarthy should have ever went to the Vikings.
Well, I totally agree.
You have 14 wins as a quarterback. He showed a massive improvement from the other teams that he was on, and you just give him away like a bag of chips. And then the next season he wins the Super Bowl. He had to have a team that put time and effort into his ideology and his belief that he would win. And the other thing I want to point out is John Schneider just pulled off a general manager masterclass. It started all the way back in 2021 or 2 when they got rid of Russ. They got all those they got all those draft picks for him. And they hit every single pick on the head. They drafted JSN. They drafted Devin Witherspoon. They drafted Nick Emanwari. All of these guys are awesome players. Then they got Leonard Williams, Cooper Kupp, Rashid Rice, Sam Darnold, and DeMarcus Lawrence. That is a Super Bowl winning team, and that is a Super Bowl winning GM that took a lot of risks. He got a lot of pushback from trading Russ, to signing Sam Darnold. He got a lot of pushback, and it paid off.
And he's been with this team through it all. He's been their GM since 2010. So he knows when his team needs a change, and they just did everything correctly. They really did.
I applaud that, honestly.
I do. I would have liked the Giants to have JSN because we were around that pick.
Yeah.
And we drafted the one and only Deonte Banks. You know the 4 players that were drafted before Deonte Banks?
Yeah.
Zay Flowers, JSN, Quentin Johnson, and another wide receiver from that draft, Jordan Addison.
I don't know if I would have.
They were the 4 picks.
The only one that
Deonte Banks sucks. I would rather have any of them.
I don't know about Quentin Johnson. I don't know if I'd rather have Quentin Johnson.
Deonte Banks sucks. I'd rather have him.
But he's in his second year. I think he can.
He sucks.
I think he can turn it around. You gotta have belief, Christian. You gotta have belief.
He sucks.
John Harbaugh will have his way with him.
What? He'll do what to him?
I met John Harbaugh will help turn his career around.
Wow, I can't believe you just said that.
Yeah, okay. I hate you. I hate you. Moving on. Predictions for next season. Let's go.
So I went through both team schedules. Let me pull up the Seahawks one again. I went game by game, and I had them going 10-7. I think we could see them in the range anywhere from 12-5 to 9-8. Obviously, they play the Cardinals twice. They play the New York Football Giants. They play that whole division, but then they also have Chiefs, Chargers, Chiefs, Chargers, Bears, Patriots, and the Eagles and the
which I don't know if they're
Broncos.
winning any of those games.
Yeah, it's yeah. I don't know. It's a tough schedule for them. I have them here at 10-7. I could see it, like I said, ranging from 12 wins to 9 wins.
I have it. I have them at 9-8. I think they're gonna have a winning record. But
That's the Patriots.
yeah.
We're talking about the Seahawks.
Oh, sorry.
They play like
Sorry.
the same teams. I know they play
Yeah,
the
they
same
do.
teams.
Yeah, they do play similar teams. I was looking at my thing for the pass. Excuse me. I have them going 11-6. I think that Sam Darnold, I don't think is gonna get any worse. I think the more time he spends with the team, the more surgical and efficient he'll get.
Yeah.
I don't think their core is young, and I think it'll be even better, especially if they keep K9. But if they don't, I think they'll go out and draft a running back or trade for one.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're gonna draft or trade for a mid-range running back. If they trade Kenneth Walker, they're gonna want to make a big running back move. That's my personal opinion. They're not gonna. They get Kenneth Walker away. They're not gonna try to trade I don't know, Justice Hill. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're gonna want.
I was talking to
Chase
Charlie.
Brown.
I was talking to Charlie while I was doing my notes. He was like, maybe they go for someone because Charbonnet's out till October.
Yeah.
Maybe they go for someone, not exactly, but along the lines of Tony Pollard or Joe Mixon, or even
I think it'll be closer to more Joe Mixon. Tony Pollard really hasn't.
Even Jalen Warren.
Yeah.
But to me, he's the same thing as Charbonnet. He's very similar to Charbonnet.
I don't understand how you look at Charbonnet's stats this season and go, yeah, that's going to be our number one.
Yeah, but then if they re-sign Kenneth Walker, it's just going to be a 1A, 1B again, and it's going to suck.
I don't know. I think that Kenneth Walker proved to the world
he's done that before.
But it's different. It's different because he was in the spotlight. The regular season doesn't get the same amount of attention from the ownership and from the staff and the media than postseason football does.
Yeah.
He was the best player on that team for 3 games.
Yeah. Totally. It's really depends on what McDonald wants to do. We've seen what he's decided before. Maybe he'll change his mind.
Maybe. What about the Patriots?
They have an incredibly hard schedule. I could see them missing out on the playoffs completely with this schedule.
I agree.
They play, obviously, the Bills twice, Jets and Dolphins twice. On the road, Bears, Chiefs, Lions, Jaguars, Chargers, Seahawks. I wouldn't even be surprised if they lost all those games. Every single one. Then at home, you got the Bills again, Broncos, Packers. And then Raiders, Dolphins, Jets, Vikings, and Steelers. I could see them losing to the Vikings and the Steelers, but I don't think they will. I also have them marked down here at 10-7, but I wouldn't even be surprised if they went 8-9, 9-8. If they really do prove themselves, they could have 11 or 12 wins. I just can't see that happening.
I have them at 9-8 just because there's not a lot of teams that have gone from as easy of a schedule that they had to that hard of a schedule and maintain a similar record without making some major changes.
Yeah.
They're going to need to bolster the wide receiver core.
Yeah.
They're going to need to bolster that O-line. They're going to need to bolster a lot of that group, aside from the defense. We're assuming the defense stays relatively the same.
Yeah.
Out of all those road games, I honestly can see them losing every single one.
Exactly. Except like Dolphins, Jets, if I'm being completely honest. There's no way.
I think the Dolphins may be able to sneak away with with
You
the
know the
win.
Dolphins. All right. Well, I just told you one. Guess what? Two teams are tied for last in the Super Bowl odds to win the Super Bowl. The worst odds to win the Super Bowl next year.
The
Dolphins
Dolphins
are
and
one
the
of them.
Jets.
No, it's not the Jets. I said the same thing.
I don't. Is it like the
It's a
Cardinals?
weird team. What?
The Cardinals?
Yeah, the Cardinals. And then the Jets are right after. But yeah,
Yeah. The Dolphins aren't that bad.
the Dolphins are really bad.
They weren't that. They get a competent quarterback in. They're not that bad.
I think they might run with Quinn Ewers this year.
Okay, well that's not a competent quarterback.
No, it's not.
All right. Well, bless you, CJ.
Thank you.
Play some nah 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 hey hey music because
We're done with
that's
football.
it for football. I'm gonna
that's
cry.
it for football.
This is
it
so
for
sad.
football.
We started this 4 months ago, and now we're done.
We started this in August. That is
5 months,
6 months ago, I think.
6 months.
Yeah, almost 6 months ago. We started this in the
That's
middle of
crazy.
August. We're almost in the middle of February.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, football is done, but that doesn't mean that the Beyond the Bench is done. Let's move on to some Knicks, baby.
Yeah, let's do
What
it.
about these Knicks? They've won 9 out of the last 10 games. Let's talk about it.
They've looked incredible. I can't even say they have looked incredible. The only loss that they have had is against the Pistons, who are the best team in the East. They lost by 38, but they didn't have Cat. They did not have OG. Deuce McBride's out, and they did not have their new acquisition of Jose Alvarado, who played his first game yesterday. Right? Yesterday was the Super. No, 2 days ago. 2 days ago. Sunday.
Against the Celtics.
Yeah. I'll get to that in a second. But Alvarado played. He played amazing. And the loss was on a Brunson off night. Just looked unbelievable. The defensive play has been outstanding. They in their last 10 games have allowed 98.6 points per game. And that was with that loss to the Pistons. And they went to double overtime against the Nuggets. So that kind of skews it just a little bit.
Yeah.
But I've watched almost every one of these games. There's really nothing more I could say. And they play again tonight against the Pacers, who are not good, which to me probably means that the Knicks are going to struggle a little bit. But we shall see.
I am extremely happy with this Knicks team. When we last talked about the Knicks, I said that Mike Brown's issue was that he's rotating too many players to try to get everybody involved, but that kills momentum. And what we've seen in the last 10 games is that, one, everybody's healthy. 2, there's been a consistent squad rotation. We have Cat, OG, Deuce, Brunson, obviously. All of these guys, and Josh Hart, all these guys have played very, very consistently, and they play minutes. They get minutes.
Yeah.
If you keep that team together in that core, I really do think that this is a finals winning team.
Yeah. So
I really do think so.
Yeah, the 89 points to the Celtics was insane. That's just the least amount of points in the last 4 years that the Celtics have scored at home.
I didn't even know that. Wow.
Yeah, so since Joe Mazzulla became their head coach, this game on Sunday was the least amount of points that they have scored at home. So he started in 2022-2023 season. So this is now his 4th season, and it finally happened. And the Knicks looked incredible while doing it.
Aiden, shout out Aiden Good. He's a Celtics fan. I made sure to give him a lot of shit at the Super Bowl. Because we were playing a game the day before, and he's like, well, both of the teams are going to be good, so I guess one streak's going to have to end. And I was like, yep, it's going to be the Celtics, baby. And he was like, nah, Knicks are frauds. Okay.
I don't think they're frauds.
Okay.
Jose Alvarado played, like I said, incredible in his first game, especially with Deuce McBride out because he had her hernia. I believe he had a hernia. So he's going to be out for a little bit. Alvarado came right in and picked up his load. He had 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. He is one of our better defensive players. The Knicks overall probably have some of the best defensive players in the league. Alvarado, great defender. Bridges, OG, Mitch, all incredible defenders. And Landry Shamet is one of my favorite players on the
I
Knicks.
love Shamet, bro.
He is a good shooter. He is a great defender. He shoots threes. He literally does everything right for the Knicks. And I love he's probably my favorite player behind Mitchell Robinson right now on the Knicks. Unfortunately, Mitchell Robinson is not playing tonight because the Knicks are on a back-to-back. They play the Sixers tomorrow, which means load management. Mitch will play tomorrow, not tonight, more than likely. OG's questionable tonight. Hopefully he plays. But I wouldn't be mad if they sit him out against the Pacers so he can play tomorrow in Philadelphia against the Sixers, which is a big matchup for the Knicks. The bench needs to keep doing what they're doing. Shamet, Alvarado. Mohamed Diawara has been playing really well. He had 10 points yesterday or Sunday.
Yep.
And then Mitchell Robinson, what more can I say? He is
Big Mitch.
He gets so many rebounds. I don't even know. He's incredible. He gets you points when you need them, unless they're free throws. Which he has fixed a little bit. I've learned something the other day about him. He has, I think it was like minimum a certain amount of games. Don't know what the minimum was. I think it might have been like 50, something like that. Mitchell Robinson has the highest shooting percentage in Knicks history.
Really?
It's like 63%. Because he doesn't shoot, he just dunks, basically. Because that does not count free throws. Shooting percentage does not count free throws. Yeah, like this season, he's 10th in the league in field goal percentage because he barely shoots. Like, let's see. The game against the Celtics, he went 1 for 2 on his shots. Against the Pistons, 2 for 2. 5 for 5. That was a good game. 10 points, 8 rebounds against the Nuggets, double overtime. So when he shoots, 50% of the time it goes in. And what more? No more. You couldn't ask for any more from him. I love Mitchell Robinson. I don't have my jersey with me, I don't think, but I do have a Mitchell Robinson jersey.
I do not. What I love about this team is that Mike Brown and the rest of them have found a very good middle ground between Thibodeau and
any other head coach that they've ever had.
Right.
Not ever, but the last 20 years.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a very good middle ground where you have the bench producing when they need to, but you have a stable core. And I feel like that's the key for a lot of NBA teams.
Yeah.
When you need guys to step up, they step up.
Yeah, Nick wasn't around for the years of David Fizdale as the Knicks head coach.
I was not.
Those were some rough years, let me tell you.
I started following. I always was a fan of the Knicks, but I started like really, really following them.
Yeah, he lasted 1 full season. He did 22 games in his second season. You want to know what his record was as the Knicks head coach in those 104 games that he coached?
What?
Actually, just guess how many wins he had in 104 games with the Knicks.
38.
Lower.
26.
Lower.
20.
21.
Wow.
21 and 83.
Wow.
That's I will say the year they went 17 and 65, they got RJ Barrett, who they then traded for OG, so I'm not going to be mad about that. But geez, he's been a head coach twice in the NBA. He didn't make it 2 full seasons either time. He made it one full season, and then with the Grizzlies, he made it 19 games. And the Knicks were like, oh, we should sign him. He wasn't that bad with the Grizzlies. I'll give him that. He went 50 and 51. But he was a head coach for 2 years before they signed him. And then you give him one of the worst teams in the NBA already. He's going to get 17 wins.
Yeah, that's not a.
I mean, yeah, the Knicks had some. That was the year they got DeAndre Jordan. I forgot about that. But like I said, Nick wasn't watching, but like Knicks fans know how high we all were on Kevin Knox. How'd that turn out? It didn't. I can tell you that, Nick. It did not turn out.
Did not turn out very good.
He's still in the league. Didn't know that. He's on the Warriors. He what does he average points per game? He averages 7.3 points per game in his career. We picked him with the 9th overall pick.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Just not it was not a good time to be a Knicks fan, but we're in the good years now.
We're in the good years.
We're in the
hopefully
good years.
hopefully they win a chip.
And
Hopefully.
yeah. And like I said, to continue the momentum, because that was the question Nick wrote down for me. To continue the momentum, defense. They need to stick with this defense. The defense has been incredible, and I don't think they should really change anything.
I agree.
And of course, Captain Clutch. He's got to stay Captain Clutch.
When you average less than 100 points allowed in a game, that is a very high bar.
Yeah, I wonder what they're averaging on the season, because they had a really bad string of games there.
Yeah, when they were losing.
Yeah, okay, so they're 111 points per game allowed. That's still sixth in the league.
Is it really?
Thunder, or 108. Celtics 108.4. The Suns is the weird one. I think they're having a good year though. Yeah, they're having a good year. But yeah, Knicks are playing wood. They're playing really well, and it's time to start paying attention to that kind of stuff because it's basketball season now.
Yeah. And playoffs are approaching.
2 months away, 2.5 months.
But that will go by quick, and this is the time where teams need to really lock in and
trade deadline already passed.
Stay hot. Yeah, I know.
Yep.
So these teams are what you're going to see for the playoffs, and this is what dreams are made of.
Unfortunately, there's no hockey going on right now.
Yeah.
Got the Olympics going.
Got the Olympics.
Yep.
Shout out my home country, Milan. My home.
Well, that's not your home
Italy,
country.
But
you really can't get much farther, can you, from Milan?
What do you mean?
Is it not close?
Oh, in terms of
in terms of Italy,
it's pretty much the opposite end of the country.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I'm from southern Italy.
Yeah, but with that, that's it for this week. No more football, unfortunately. No Salacious Crumbs this week.
No Salacious Crumb.
There, a guy just did it, so now we have.
Can you? Now you got to bring it back.
Oh well, yeah. Salacious B.
I think we have to end every episode with Salacious Crumb. I think that's
Salacious B. Yeah, I'm down. I'll do it. Salacious B. Crumb. Jabba the Hutt's little guy. You got. That's his thing. Love that little guy.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. Be sure to check out our Instagram and socials. We're gonna have some things planned for postseason football content. So watch out for that. And thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.